D Media presents the #1 late night talk show in the entire metaverse. Covering everything you need to know in the Knights realm. You're watching The Night Shift. And now, your host, Jiggleman Porto and the Knights of Tijin.
Bro, I'm telling you, with that intro, I think by next week I need to have like some sort of suit on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Jimmy Fallon, watch the hell out, bro. Like, I'm coming for the gig, right here. What's up, Zoo?
yes, and someone who doesn't always host the night shift, I wasn't quite used to coming into that. I did have the little bit of a Jimmy Fallon type feel to it.
Yeah, and I saw the dance moves backstage too.
Like, yeah, I was feeling myself. I mean, unfortunately, I'm also watching the Mets, and they're kind of sucking right now, which kind of pisses me off. But we got good things planned for tonight.
Bro, we get to talk with the guys from Only Gems. I'm excited, dude. Like, they've got the massive tournament about to take off. We're going to talk about all that with them. Like, bro, I don't want to jump the gun, right? But, like, that first place prize, like, Drew Austin is like, oh, mama. He wants to win. He's excited. And with that being the prize, they were smart. Listen, I can tell you right off the gate, these guys we got backstage, they know what they're doing when it comes to marketing, all right? They said, you know what? Let's put that Drew Austin's going to have no choice but to say, yes, we want to be a part of this. But what's awesome, too, is these guys are Knights. They're Knight holders. They're doing big things. Really excited about it. We've got Matt's on here, co-founder. We've got Anthony. We've got Scott Braun on here. I know Scott's doing the chief content officer for them as well. We get to build our team tonight, bro. Like, I had to tap on Joe Candy to come spend some money tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how good at marketing these guys are. Are we going to rip some packs, and is a Fleer Michael Jordan going to somehow sneak their way into that pack? Or is it going to be, an old school Mike Messina Yankees? We'll see. We'll see how good at marketing these guys are. No, I'm super excited.
Why we got to knock on the Yankees?
I love cards. I love ripping packs. I have a bunch of stuff, so this is right up my alley.
Man, that's awesome. Well, let's bring the guys in. Matt, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, Jig? How we doing?
Not much. Good, bro. Anthony, how you doing?
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Good, bro. Oh, look at that. He got the night right there, too. Woo, look at that.
That's one. Yeah, I don't know first one I bought. Figured it was appropriate for the show.
Yes, sir. What up, Scott?
How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How you doing, Mr. MLB people? Network? You good?
I'm great. Yeah, I'm better than a lot of my buddies at the Yankee game right now.
Oh, my God, bro. Like, I turned off my alerts, all right, during the last show. I was like, all right, I'm done. When I saw 9-2, that was it.
Look at the overall record, though, for therapy. 73-45.
Exactly.
Okay?
I'm just going to relive. Too. Yeah, I'm going to relive the Josh Donaldson moment from last night.
Exactly.
That for me is okay. It's going to carry me at least for the next 4 days.
You know what? As a Tampa fan, I did not like seeing that happen last night.
Dude, I'm a Marlins fan. Baseball's irrelevant.
All right.
South Florida baseball's.
Scotty hates to hear it.
No, Anthony, you just
I love baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I love baseball. That's my first love as a sport. But being a Marlins fan, it's like a lifelong torture.
Yo, so Anthony, where in South Florida are you, bro?
I'm not trying to.
Are you really?
Yeah.
All right. I lived in Fort Lauderdale after New York for a bit, right off of Davie and Andrews near Riverfront. And
I live literally right there.
Yeah, all right. And
I'm in Tarpon River, right off the river.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Yeah, I was around when the Marlins, paid to win a championship. It was great times.
That is partially how you win a championship. You do need to pay money for playing.
Yeah, the Mets. Look at my Mets. It's not that hard to be good at baseball.
Open up the checkbook, Zook. That's all you got to do, bud.
Uncle Stevie's taking care of the squad.
Yeah, I know.
I love Uncle Stevie.
Man, guys,
Porto, that intro was pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Appreciate it, man. It's one of the newest upgrades we put to the show, right? I mean, we elevate things as we go.
Porto, what's the vibe too? Like, are we obviously we're going to be ripping packs, and we're gonna talk fantasy football. But like, are we drinking? Like, you know, I got like the little purple background. It's kind of late at night. Quote late at night.
Yeah, this is
okay.
Yeah, this is that late night. Zook's got the pen. Normally, every DJ that's going to show up here to rip packs, they're drinking, I promise you. And even with names in the chat, like Smoke a Lot Hippopotamus, you know, he's on board with us. But guys, I'm excited that you're here because we've been talking for a bit now, trying to put something together, you know, super excited for what we got going on. But I kind of want to know about the project as well for those that don't really know about Only Gems, right? And kind of how that started, how we got to where we're at, and then force you guys to rip a shit ton of packs with me. So who wants to take the lead on how this came together in the first place?
I mean, I can
lead it off.
Yeah, I'll take a stab at it from the top. So, I mean, Matt and I got into the NFT movement probably around 14 months ago. Got in, first NFT we decided to buy was an ape. Good kickoff to our NFT journey. Met actually Drew Austin. He was one of the first people we met in Web3. Got into the Knighst Degen, Pixel Vault, Meta Hero. Really looked around the space, and we were really bought in on community, utility, what smart contracts are doing, how blockchain's scaling, and how everything's really coming full circle. Looked around, and we were like, we really want to find out something we're passionate about and how this can be applied to a real world use case. Cards just naturally made sense. Like, they've had a meteoric rise, as I'm sure a lot of people know, the past like 2.5 years after The Last Dance and when the 86 Fleers just started to go parabolic. And with that momentum and with the capital coming into the sector, it needs to change. We need to radically change the way the cards are transacted, the way the trust is established, the way that these assets perform. And tokenizing them and bringing in a layer of trust, a layer of instant ownership, a layer of instant settlement, and just reducing the friction in the buying, selling, and trading process was why we started Only Gems. It's how we landed on it, and it's what we're here for, building a platform for the card consumer and leveraging Web3 while we're at it.
That's dope.
You know what? I mean, cards are like the original NFT, sort of, if you think about it, right? Like, it's a picture of a guy that we all like. Some of them are sparkly, some of them are not, and then we all pay lots of money for it. So that's like the original NFT. But in a nutshell, it's paper, it's plastic. Like Zook it's just sitting around in his room or on his desk. It's not doing him any good. In fact, some of them have gone down drastically in value, like that Tatis one of his. Like, it would have been really nice if he could have sold that.
He's rubbing,
really nice if he could have sold that, you know, like like that, you know, just like if it was shares of Apple or something. If it was Apple, you just log into your TD Ameritrade, a couple of clicks, you're out. Or if it's Ape, if you're worried about the floor dropping or whatever, because it's Franklin shit that's going on, like, you can 2 clicks and you're out. But with that Tatis card sitting on his desk, there's a lot of hoops that he has to jump through. He has to put it in a bubble mailer, and he has to go to the post office, ship it to someone, find a buyer. He's got to wait and then receive it. You know, that's just kind of an antiquated model. Then for us that trade NFTs, it's like there's so much to be added to that asset class. That's, like Anthony said, it's already a multi-billion-dollar space. So it's just ripe for, you know, modernization.
What you said is so true. And I think for someone like me and a lot of people that got into this space through Top Shot, it's what made Top Shot so appealing. Like, when I was in that card craze, you know, like the summer before Top Shot went on, like, what stopped me was like legit, like getting bubble wrap, finding a buyer, then mailing it, then putting the wrong address.
It's so easy to buy cards.
Selling it.
When it comes to selling them,
I buy cards. You're dealing with something that is supposed to be like a hobby, which means you're supposed to love it. Like, having those hoops can actually turn a hobby into a chore. And once that happens, that can kill the whole like community and ecosystem.
Yeah. Right. Like, I feel bad for the breakers that are just breaking like thousands of cards a day. Then they've got to wrap them up. They've got to ship them. That, to me, it's not even, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I mean, I'm a buyer of cards. I buy cards all the time. I've yet to, I think, sell one.
My whole desk is like filled with old cardboard.
This is exactly why we do what we do.
Literally penny sleeves, slabs. I've got the shit all over my desk. It's
you
everywhere
save the
in my
cardboard
office.
that they send you, so then you could send it to someone else.
You know what?
Right.
You know what is kind of tight though is I have some guys that I buy cards from on eBay, and they put like free base cards in there. It's like you actually really care.
Yeah.
Like I find that like I don't give a shit about the cards, but I'm like they actually care like enough to like have a nice gesture, and like that's a good feeling. But at the same time, it's like I'm never
It's worth
shipping
nothing.
anything. Yeah, it's worth nothing, but it makes you feel good.
And guys, let's do it for the kids too, right? Like right now, if I'm putting shit on eBay and I'm a kid, a normal kid that doesn't have like a rich family, and I don't have tens of thousands of dollars of cards, like it's not worth transacting. You're gonna lose money as a kid, and like the hobby in general needs to be as inclusive as possible. So I think that's a big part of the movement as well. Like we should be able to transact no matter basically what the graded card is worth, right? Like right now, you have to do the math and say, this isn't worth it, right? Because I got to pay the fees, 100%. I got to ship, all the BS. Like that can't exist because you're isolating certain audiences that want to be involved and want to be constantly trading. Like Matt said, they want to be flipping the Tatis cards because they're down on him, or somebody's like, screw it, I think he's going to come back and be a stud again.
I'll buy low, you know.
You can't do any of that crap right now. It's all at this high level.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Haven't you seen the meme?
Yep.
Yeah, haven't you seen the meme of like it's got like all the guys from the movie Eyes Wide Shut, and it's like these are the MFers that are ripping Flawless and National Treasures on like a daily basis. It's hilarious.
Well, since we're ripping on Zook a little bit for still having that Tatis card, how much did Zook lose on that card, do you think, just in the last 6-7 days?
Well, we could pull up the whole data site where it actually shows on like a visual level, you know, if we really wanted to see what it's worth. But, you know, I've seen like a good 40-50% dip on all of his stuff across the board. So it's not good. Generally, like it's bad enough about the suspension and he's not going to be around for the playoffs, but then generally for his personal brand, you know, quote unquote, as far as baseball fans go, they hate to see that.
Wait, so we're saying we're not believing him when he said he didn't know what he was putting in his body? We're not going to give him a pass?
All right, moving right along, Zook. All right,
that's Scott for the That's Scott.
So, Scott.
That's my bread and butter. But here, let's also think about this. I mean, for the value. First off, I mean, Zook, I wouldn't be getting rid of your Tatis shit for 50% to the 50 cents to the dollar. At the same time, though, this is real. No matter, I mean, it doesn't matter what the excuse is. I'm not voting Royd guys into the Hall of Fame, especially nowadays, right? Like, you know what the rules are. You got caught. Mm-hmm. So even if the dude goes on to have a Hall of Fame career, because when he's been on the field, he's been incredible. Like if he comes back, never gets busted again, like there's a decent chance that he never gets voted in, right? And I know we're really projecting forward and even to call someone like that a potential Hall of Famer, but people before really even a few days ago thought this is a guy who has that potential. That's kind of to shit right now. It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
And his legacy,
and that's where the values really come from with the cards. Is like you're basically speculating on his potential on becoming a future Hall of Famer, right? When these cards are worth $400 or $500, that's ultimately what you're saying. Is like I am making a bet on Tatis to have a good enough career in the long run to be significant enough as a cultural icon in the sport.
But next year, when he comes back, like the Padres are stacked, they could win a World Series next year, and his value might not be back to where it was, but it'll bump up. So point is, like that people will forget about the Hall of Fame discussion if suddenly it's completely possible. The Padres have a stacked enough team that with the moves that they made, they're going to be contending the next 2-3 years is like their prime window. So again, Zook, this is what I'm here for. Like, hold that.
But is it this exact conversation is what makes the card market so fucking cool to begin with, right? Like we're basing like projections on people and using our knowledge that in the past we just had ego conversation with our friends at lunch tables, but no way to prove it. Now it's like put your money where your mouth is. Like, oh, you think Fernando Tatis is going to be a Hall of Famer and he's in his second year and like this is before all this stuff happened? Like, go out and buy a card. If you're right, it's going to go way up in 15, 20, 30, 50 years when you give it to your kid. Like, that's crazy for diehard sports fans, and that's why people love this shit.
It's great. I'm sitting on a big Anthony Edwards card that I'm hoping just goes up. And when they got Rudy Gobert, when they got Rudy Gobert, I was like, yes. I was like, they're going to either go to the Western Conference Finals or go to the championship.
What if he wins an Oscar for his performance in Hustle?
Have you seen have you seen the thing about his dog? Is named Anthony Edwards Jr.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a character.
He's like a gem. But to be honest, that's actually a pretty good point. Your brand and your personal brand and your culture actually matters in the value of your cards. Like there are so
100%.
many guys that are like rock star athletes and like have just monstrous stats, but no one cares about them because they have no brand. They're not out there. They're not likable. They're purely an athlete, and that's what I found that's crazy. I mean, there's also like iconic guys out there, like IPC, like Dan Marino. Like I've been collecting, ask Matt, I've been collecting Dan Marino cards like crazy the past like month and a half. Tua, his cards are worth more than Dan's. What sense does that make?
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Dan's career is over, and Tua's career is just getting started. And so if he happens to exceed the ceiling, you know, that what people's expectations are, they stand to gain more money. It's like the same conversation with NFTs, right? It's like some flippers would rather go buy whatever. Give me some trash example, Porto, of like some mint for 0.004 that they can 7x. You know what I mean?
Talking players. I was just gonna be like, name a jet.
Yeah, I mean, but still, you're talking about a man that had 40 individual passing records when he retired.
Right, blue chip stock, but you already know the value and it's not changing.
Yeah.
Right.
You're buying for the future.
He's a known quantity. If Tua happens to go out there and ball out like Mahomes did in his first year and second year, then someone like 4 or 5x is their investment.
Yeah,
what is that?
I sold my Tua at the National and bought Waddle.
What is it? I can't see it.
Yeah,
I have like an orange and blue like mosaic.
I can't see it, Scott.
Somewhere.
Oh yeah, I actually got a fire Waddle at National. That's a glove patch, but it's got the perfect orange Nike check like straight down the card, up and down.
There we go.
But just to give an example here for people that are new to the party, like this is where it's going and this is where we are, right?
Yeah.
Like I need to be able to show my collection here. I'm not going to be, I was just at National with the crew, right? We're at National down in Atlantic City.
Oh God.
And you've got people with these like suit, and it's the same thing. I feel like I'm living like in the 90s.
It's this thing.
The briefcases,
I'm about to say it comes out.
Everyone's walking around with these things.
Best moment, ready? Best moment for me of National. And we brought some cool athletes with us. Shady McCoy was there, came with us, and Todd Frazier. I love that, but that's got to be in your MetaMask. Okay, so that's got to be in our vault. So best moment. I walk into National, and right outside before you walk in, and there's tons of luggage. There's luggage everywhere, and there's one kid. He's probably like in his 20s. He's on the ground sorting through cards in his briefcase. And he sees a buddy and he runs out 15 yards to give him a hug. And his briefcase of all his crap is just sitting there. And I'm just like, this is just ridiculous. You know, you almost think of like a movie where it's like the bully that just grabs his crap and just runs. I'm like,
just runs off
this
with
is
it.
insane. That shit should be living in your freaking MetaMask. That like where you can, why are you bringing briefcases with you from, kids from Texas is flying here. And obviously some of these guys have 7-figure collections that they're bringing to National. And let me tell you, if suddenly that shit gets jacked, they're not recouping that from insurance. No. Anthony can speak to that better than I can. Numbers guy.
Well, Matt and I were at a table, and this guy pulls up with one of these cases, and it's like $100,000 card, $80,000 card, $250,000 card, and just starts putting like stacks on the table. And I'm sitting here in my mind thinking, I'm like, dude, you're nuts. Like this guy literally had $1 million worth of cards just sitting there. In this little case that he's just carrying with him. Like, I'm not, I had like a decent amount of money worth of cards in my backpack. And I'm like, this is just not practical.
So I want to ask you guys, because I mean, obviously all of us here on the panel, we agree, right? It makes no sense. This is such a better solution. We'll dig into it more on how it works. But do you think, especially with this industry, right? Is this a harder one to get to as far as onboarding those Web2 guys that are used to that briefcase?
So yes and no. I mean, you guys mentioned Top Shot, so you can definitely relate to this. There's a younger generation inside Top Shot right now, and that's buying NFTs. That's younger, that collect. They all buy cards. They're all the kids that are at these shows. Those kids, there's no educational curve. They're like, give me what you got. I'm gonna buy packs. I'm gonna rip. I'm gonna collect. The old heads, they're a little bit more like, they think that you just because it's an NFT or just because it's on the blockchain, they're going to lose all their money instantly. Like I'll never forget, Matt and I walk into a card show in Fort Lauderdale off 84 in like some shitty hotel. We walk in, this dude's got a table. He probably had $7.5 million worth of cards sitting on the table. I walk up to him, I'm like, so what do you think about like tokenizing your cards into NFTs? He goes, oh, that crypto stuff? I don't want to lose all my money. That's all he had to say. That's all he wanted to say. And I was like, all right, well, you already have a preconceived notion about crypto and about NFTs that I'm probably not going to be able to change. So I'm not going to sit here and go through the brain damage of trying to convert him. But then we go to other guys that are like asset-backed NFTs. We vault the card. It's pegged to the intrinsic value of the asset. It can't really go to zero. You're not going to get rugged. And oh, by the way, here's the pros that vastly outweigh the cons, and a light flicks on. And they're like, all right, this makes sense. Yes, I'll tokenize my cards. Yes, I'm like amenable to that. But it's definitely the consumer for us in our core is going to be 40 and under. And it's going to be those kids that are buying Top Shot and those millennials that are collecting like everybody on here.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking, because like I can see my dad, right? My dad has cards, loves his cards, and I could see him being like, "Oh, this is great. Go take care of it for me." You know what I mean? Right. Like, and okay, great, I'll do it for you. But my dad's not, for me, he's not gonna be like, "All right, yeah."
He's not gonna go download a MetaMask and figure that out.
Right. But obviously, you know, us 40 and under, you know, we're down to be like, let's capture this the right way.
That was one of my biggest hooks to getting into Only Gems. Among getting connected with these guys and knowing about the hobby was what put me over the top was my parents were moving last year, exactly a year ago, and you're clearing the house, you're getting rid of certain things. You know, my dad's like, hey, can we sell a few cards, bobbleheads, etc.? And I'm like, and I just hadn't sold anything in a while. Same thing. We always just collect. We weren't really sellers. And I'm going, wait, nothing's changed since I was a kid. This is insane.
No.
I was like, I don't have time for this shit. I'm on television every day. And I don't trust, you know, like, I'm like, the fact that I can't transact like this seamlessly, this is just a perfect use case for Web3. So,
are there any other projects out there right now that are kind of doing what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so I mean, there are three main guys out there that are tokenizing cards: eBay, Alts, and StockX. However, they're not truly NFTs. Like, they are NFTs, but they can't come off the eBay platform. Well, eBay's actually not doing NFTs at all. eBay's just digitizing cards where you can trade the picture on their app and they vault your shit for you. Alts actually had a digitized card, Alt Mint. They didn't, I think, sell out. And we talked to the guys at Alt at National, and their team didn't even really know what Ethereum was. As far as everything's concerned, I don't think they're really going too deep on it.
They don't have an Anthony.
StockX says we have NFTs. You can't take it off of the StockX platform.
StockX is very different than this. Very, very different than this.
So I mean, our cards are free. You want to put them on Luxro, you want to put them on OpenSea, you want to put them on our marketplace when we launch it in Q4. They're more than welcome to go across anywhere that's Polygon enabled. It's kind of like your keys, your crypto, your cards. They sit in your MetaMask. You own them. You actually have ownership of them. They're not centralized in someone's vault and in someone's digital infrastructure.
I mean, I don't throw the word out there often, but I mean, this is like game changing for real for this market. Like, huge.
and
Matt, you were going to say something.
Yeah, there's multiple tokenization protocols out there, you know, like even one of none, like, you know, that Knights of Degen has a partnership with. They do something similar in the sense that you take something physical and you make it digital while they hold custody of it. And while there's certain physical to digital companies out there, we're kind of building more of an ecosystem around the collectible consumer, bringing a lot of these accepted user behaviors and things that like collectors enjoy participating in, like breaks, for example, and making it digital. So that's where like the mystery packs come into play. That's which is basically just digital wax. That's where the fantasy football comes into play, where now if you have these digital cards, now what can you do with them? Oh, I can play with them and maybe earn a prize of some sort. So, and then everyone has played like FIFA or Madden 2K Ultimate Team, where they're building their team and they're basically logging hundreds of hours in, improving it. At the end of the day, what do you own? You don't really own anything. You rented that experience with EA Sports. Congratulations, you know? So like
Yeah.
in the true spirit of Web3, you know, if you play this game that we are sort of building around this asset class, this tokenized physical asset-backed asset class, then ultimately, like at the end of the tunnel, you built a nice portfolio of cards that are actually worth something. You could take it out of the ecosystem and sell it for what it's really worth if you choose to. That's the whole point.
You guys mind me asking, how the hell did the three of you get together on this?
So Matt and I knew each other from college. Then we knew each other from the cannabis industry that we were in about 2016. Then I met Scott through one of our other co-founders, Chris, in New York when we were up there for NFT NYC. We all got along, and we're here. I mean, we're about 8 people right now on the team. Couple of us are in South Florida. Scotty's in New York. One of our partners is in Zurich, Switzerland, and then a couple other our guys are remote across the states.
Nice.
Very organic, I would say.
You know, and
like
it's been a long
buddy,
time
one of my
coming
best
too.
friends, like he's in South Florida, and he's like, dude, because we've talked about the friction in the industry just in the past. He's like, I got it. he's like, you're gonna want to invest. I was like, no, fuck it, I'm working for them. Go one step further.
So when did you guys launch everything? Like,
so we started building.
We've been truly building like almost a year now. We came together. Yeah, and then we first started. So by the way, our developers, huge enterprise level dev shop, award-winning UX UI team or whatever. Like we've been actually wireframing, building, planning this whole project since about a year ago. And we finally shipped the products back in June, right before the whole market took a shit. But, you know, we've been building, and we have this whole vision. And, you know, unfortunately in the Web3 space, the model has been like, you know, raise money on future promises and then go build. We've been building on the front end. We raised a little bit of venture capital, and then we've been building before really launching anything to the community. And now we're ultimately ready to bring it out there.
Jigga, Jason, by the way, has a really good question. In the comments. So Jason, I know you're asking what happens with the original card. So we have a vault in Tampa, Florida, inside our office. It's in a Class A office building. All of the cards go into that vault. They get authenticated, they get vaulted, and then they get tokenized. The vault is secured, it's insured, fireproof, floodproof. If you want your physical card back, or you sell your card and the recipient wants the physical card redeemed from the vault, you send us the NFT, we burn the NFT, the physical version is out of the vault within 48 hours on its way to you in the mail.
Yeah, seems like
the NFT is basically
so
just bona fide proof of ownership, a digital redemption token, essentially. So you can trade that, you can play with that, and ultimately you can get the physical card back out of the vault if you want to.
Yeah, but to truly have it as I don't want to call it a store value, but to truly have the value pegged to the NFT, the physical card needs to be out of circulation and inside the vault. And we're actually having the vault audited twice a year by an auditing firm that's going to do a full third-party opinion as per these are the cards, these are the NFTs, there's 100% legitimacy here, sign off on it, and then we're off to the races.
Yeah, he said, thanks. You're like a bank for cards. Like,
trust me, we have some features on our roadmap to get into the financialization of these assets, but we'll leave that for another show.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll make sure that happens right here when we talk about it. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
100%.
So obviously I want to get into ripping packs. We'll get to that in a sec, but can we talk about the fact that you guys are doing this ultimate team challenge? Can we jump on that? Like, and I think you've got your screen. I don't know if you have that pulled up. I can get a graphic pulled up real quick.
Yeah, for the ultimate team.
Let me pull it up here. So is this the first
Let's start.
kind of tournament that we're doing?
Yeah.
This is the first sort of the first version of our gamification that we'll be bringing online for your assets. So all of the cards that you actually own in your wallet will be able to be utilized in some form or fashion of a game where you can ultimately compete against other collectors and also against sort of the roadmap itself as a user to win prizes. And in this particular case, it's fantasy sports. Everyone likes fantasy football. Football season is upon us. Everyone's very excited about that. So why not showcase this technology in a better way than to allow users to set their lineups each week and compete against other collectors with the actual cards that they own. And it's not as simple as just the player is the player. It's actually pegged to the relative value of the card. So if you have a $10,000 Justin Herbert, that's going to generate a higher score than a, let's say, $100 Justin Herbert card. So it encourages users to kind of build a portfolio of cards while also then competing against other collectors.
And I know Mr. Drew Austin's been in the market for one of those BGS or PSA 86 flares. So would love to get him in the tourney and get all the Knights in there competing.
So is it just football?
This is fantasy football, but we figured that's the most liquid, sought after asset in the card space, arguably, aside from like the Manals and the really super high end stuff. So I mean, the 86 Fleer is it's a grail.
Jigga, I'm looking at a expensive Mahomes and Tom Brady on my shelf right now that I think we could throw into the Knights of DJ lineup week 1.
Oh,
yeah, you want the super marketing? It's put your damn cards to work. That's what it is.
There you go.
Damn cards to work. Like,
what are your cards doing for you?
That was the best sales pitch right there, Sky.
That's what I'm here. I'm just here for one.
that was it. Like, you don't need to fluff or any bull crap on that one.
Yeah.
Exactly. I kind of like that, so Matt. Let's add that to the flyer.
What have your cards done for you lately?
So I know on the flyer when I read everything we were talking about, putting this together to have you guys come on and get the Knights of Degen team in there. So if you're ripping packs, you can also use those cards for your team on the fantasy, right?
Yeah.
All right.
There's 3 ways to get cards.
Okay.
You can either rip one of the football mystery packs, which pops out 3 random cards, which is one of our products, the mystery pack, which is, like I mentioned, digital wax, where it initiates a chain link VRF function where actually it's provably fair. And it's not like we package these 3 packs ourselves. Like, it is truly random. You could hit 2 rare cards in one pack, and they only cost $200. And there's cards as expensive as $5,000 in there, and then they're already graded. Obviously, they're already on the blockchain, so they go directly to your wallet. So that's one way. You could rip a pack. You could also go on OpenSea and you could just buy on the resale market from people who have them listed. And then you could also submit your cards to the vault. So Zook, you got your slabs at home. You can make a portal account and submit your cards completely for free, and we'll tokenize them and airdrop them into your wallet so that you could use them in your lineup.
But they also don't want you to bother sending that Tatis one right now. All right.
These
wouldn't help us.
These 2 bad boys will be spearheading my fantasy team with Lamar Jackson and Javonte Williams.
Dude,
can you do defensive
Lamar Jackson's
players
a big topic of conversation right now.
I got a TJ Watt.
So
we're not doing defense. I got my homies too. Okay. PSA 10 rookie.
All right, while we're talking through this, let's rip some.
So the strategy is to have as many options as possible in your roster, right?
Yeah, I don't want to tip any people out, but there are some fire Jeffersons that are on OpenSea.
Yeah, I already got the committee messaging me.
After we rip a pack, let's go take a look at it.
The committee's literally messaging me right now.
Yo, Jigga, can we put him in our lineup week 1? Just for me?
There are some fire cards on OpenSea.
He won't do much for us, but
no, he definitely won't.
I don't think he's gonna turn in any monster numbers.
But you don't get points for that.
So real quick, so we can rip now. I know we're gonna rip some up off of Matt. I think you were gonna share your screen.
My screen.
Right?
My screen.
And this is also just to point out while you're right before you go, just because I know he's going to put this up there. Like, this is one of the coolest value props of what we've got, because this is like big in the hobby right now, and we're doing this digitally. But go ahead. Again, just wanted to sneak one line in there. Go ahead.
No, that was a good line. That was a good line. Just give me one of these when you have them. I want as many as possible, Guy. All right. So you mentioned, Matt, that the value of the card equals more points in the tournament. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So the relative value
points.
of the card.
Okay.
Yep. There's the base score of the fantasy player, right? Let's say Justin Jefferson turns in his 10 catches, whatever. There's the base score. And then if you're holding the $20 Chronicle Justin Jefferson, that's going to have a certain scoring bonus associated to it relative to its value. And then the higher it goes, obviously it scales up. So it's not like if you have a $10,000 Justin Jefferson card, it's like a cheat code. You're going to score 100 points and the regular guy is scoring 5.
Okay.
You know, it's not going to be like
that.
that.
And that's what I was kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a god pass or anything, but at the same time, it does encourage you to have a higher value card in there because, you know, if you're doing a Justin Herbert and I'm doing a Justin Herbert and I'm turning in a 32 and you're turning in a 24, you know, that's 8 points. You actually, that might mean something in the rankings. So you might want to actually figure out a way to say, I'm done with this version of Justin Herbert. I need to upgrade, you know?
All right. Yeah. So I'll just say that's pretty dope. All right. Just got to say it. Okay. So the packs itself, let's say I have no cards, me personally, and I want to jump in on this. What are we looking at pack wise? Not OpenSea. I know we can go look and get specific cards, but is there different tiers of packs? How does that work?
No, packs are all one tier. Packs are all one tier.
Yeah, so we possess the technology to just do 3 random cards out of any drop pool, and we can customize that drop pool to pretty much any economics that we want. So for our first Genesis drop that we did over 1,300 football cards and over like 430 packs or so. And that was more of like a true experience of Wax, right? It can have base cards in there that's only worth $30. It could have a monster card in there that's worth $5,000. You know, for the next drop, we could potentially do player packs, position packs, where it's just QBs or whatever. We can customize it however we want to. We possess that technology to do that, to kind of lend to the gamification however we choose.
Who designed your slabs? Because no lie, like I'm on the site right now, they're really dope.
That was VBT. That was our tech partner.
Those slabs are beautiful.
Yeah, those are those are the marketing slabs, and then there's the actual NFTs. Though they do look different on OpenSea.
Yeah, if you want to, let's do a screen share of OpenSea on the collection.
You can see it on your phone.
And then Anthony, if you want, share.
I got the packs. I got packs ready to rip right now.
I don't see your screen there to be shared. I think we got to share it.
I'm sharing it.
It's
now.
Only Gems Collectibles. There you go. So right now we have about 4,200 slabs on the blockchain in the vault, and they're all on OpenSea that you can see. And then you can filter by like sport. You can filter by what the grading company was. Yeah, and they spin in 3D. Yeah. That's obviously a Pokemon card.
So you actually have these cards, all of these cards.
Yeah,
all those cards are sitting in our vault.
Yeah. Like there's no card on like that we're ripping tonight that you couldn't go into the vault and be like,
for instance, every pack that we're about to rip, if you guys wanted all the physical cards tomorrow, in theory, you send us in the NFTs, we burn them. Like I said, your cards are out of the vault within 48 hours.
That's sick.
Fully insured on their way to you.
Well, and think about it. So everyone, people are in it for different reasons, right? Some
are
sick.
That's sick.
Money, some are. I always put it this way too. Like this is especially for the older crowd. They'll be like, what if I'm like, if you want your Tatis, since he's the man of the minute, shrine, then we send it to you. Like you bought that, and then we send it to you. Like this is not complicated here.
Yeah.
No.
But a lot of people are transacting, and this is just it's got to be one click.
Easier.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Period.
All right, let's rip the first. Let's rip the first football pack. So
first Knights of D-Gen King's Purse pack.
Oh yeah, this is a fantasy lineup.
Yeah.
So for these, you hold MetaMask triggers.
You enter your seed phrase, all your stuff gets.
I'll put my seed phrase into the
chat. Zook, your eyes went right to the chat, bro. He said, "Huh?"
Here it comes.
Here's the animation. Cards pop out of the box.
That.
Let's see what we got. We got the first card here.
All right, Knights, what we got?
Jonathan Taylor.
Hey, we got a Brady. Let's go.
You got Chris Carson. Oh, 10s. 9, 9, 10, 9, 5, 10, 10.
Chris
Jeez.
Carson just retired, so that's no
Chris
good.
Carson
but,
retired.
but a Brady 9.5 and a
Brady
JT 10. Those are solid. Those are solid.
That's
We're
a hell of
talking
a
about
starting football. That's a starting. It's your starting running back and a QB if you're a Brady guy.
Yep.
So just saying this out loud, and I have no authority to do this, but I just want to talk through the process of like this site now using, that we have 3 tangible examples. Because Chris Carson is out, we could technically, as the Knights, do a giveaway where we would like burn the NFT. You could send us that Chris Carson card because it can't be used in fantasy, and we would actually get that physical card to give away.
That's
absolutely.
Or you
That's
could,
cool.
But why not
give it away? Yeah, why not give away the NFT?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah,
That's what we're here for.
exactly.
But you could.
In theory, yes.
Okay. Just
Well,
so
and
people
I
understand the
look at it one and
process.
same. Like you own that asset, right?
And then right after, and then literally the cards go right into your wallet. There they are. Bam, bam, bam.
And also keep in mind, I mean, these mystery packs, this is part of the core of the business beyond just the fantasy football. So it's not like this was made just for fantasy football.
Yeah,
like we're not dumb. We know Carson.
We can just use it however we want to.
These
So
are
those 3
real
cards are now
assets
there.
that you own.
I just looked up the prices. The JT and the Brady are both about $50 each. So not bad. Not bad.
All right, let's see what we got in pack number 2.
Yeah.
I hate the football market. I've always been so frustrated with the football card market, just being a Steelers fan and all my good players being on defense. But that's a rant for another day.
I mean, Najee's fire though. He's gonna have a great season.
Yeah, but still, like if he was a quarterback, he'd be like 5x.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's so like the sport's so weird.
While we're opening this one up, asking for the Knights of Degen team, right? So we pulled that Brady. Obviously, we'd want to throw that in there as the QB.
Yeah.
Right? But let's
JT, solid running back.
Hold on. All right, I'm going to stop because I'm excited to see these.
What do we get?
Russell Wilson.
We got a Russell.
Jerry Rice.
Oh, Jerry's going to give us mad points, bro.
Russell Jefferson.
Those are
Justin
sick.
Jefferson, the big get.
Yeah.
That's a good one right there.
Jerry's not scoring any more touchdowns, but that's a sick card.
Yeah, having an 88 Jerry Rice, and what is that, a 9 or? Yo,
That's
that's a 9.
It's a mint 9 for Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
The Russell looks like it's a silver, but it's a 5, so it's just going to be useful in the lineup probably for an option for a QB.
PSA 9 Jefferson.
I've never even seen a 5 before,
so going back
I
to the
actually
question,
like
right?
that.
Go back to the question with the
It's a
Tom
pop
Brady
one, probably.
situation.
Pop one.
So the Tom Brady question, right? So
Yeah.
let's say we have that now, but Zook, where's that Patrick Mahomes card?
Here.
How would we determine if that Patrick Mahomes card right now is going to be better for us just by looking at the value of it?
Yeah, I think what we would do is we would see what that they're trading at because that's the multiplier basically. We're saying basically Mahomes and Brady probably for a week are even in fantasy, so I think it comes down to the multiplier.
Right.
Show them how you plug in the data. What's the name of that card?
The 2017 Panini Dunruss Optic, the Rookies Blue.
So Blue Optic Mahomes 2017.
Panini Blue Optic.
Just do Optic. Just do Optic.
Oh yeah.
Mahomes. So we have a data partnership with this company called Card Hedge, where they track eBay sales, PWCC sales, and golden auction sales. So that's a good chunk of the market action, right? And so we have APIs that are pumping all this sales data into our platform, so that ultimately we can give a real-time view as to what these cards are worth. So even within our Discord, you take the token ID from the NFT, you queue the bot with the token ID, and it'll pump out a link with a temporary data site about that exact card. So 17 autograph.
Yeah, this is pulling the auto.
Yeah, it's a pretty not like common card that
it's not
parallel from 2017.
There's only 140. This is 143 out of 149. Which I love. And like we're not going to plug obviously other sites, but there is many. Like if you wanted to find the value of a card and we were trying to find the lineup,
yeah, and that's what I was asking, right? Figuring out lineup wise and everything. All right, let's rip another one of these bad boys. Come on,
let's
now.
see.
Was it a PSA 9?
You guys need another running back.
Let's go. I'm gonna take all our ugly mugs off for this one. Let's go with that full screen right there.
Yo, I want a Najee Harris.
Of course you
I
do.
actually have a fire. I have a fire Najee in my wallet that I minted myself.
Yo, if we don't get a tight end, I'm gonna send in this Fryer Muth.
That's not that might be a pretty good pick. Here we go.
Come on.
There's some
Here we go.
bangers. There's some bangers left in here.
I'm feeling a Darnell
Here we
Mooney.
go.
A PSA 10 Darnell Mooney.
Kyler.
Kyler. There's Mahomes.
Is that the wait? Oh, this
And
is the
Herbert.
QB. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. We're killing on the QB side.
You got QBs.
You guys,
You
you
got
guys got
QBs
lots
for
of
days.
options.
Yeah, Jigga, we're gonna be in the market for some trades. I feel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we're I think we're gonna want to go on OpenSea to maybe look at some running backs and receivers, see if there's anything cheap. I think there are some good ones on there. But
Yeah, I mean, when we were looking at, I was eyeballing this guy earlier today. This is a fire.
I don't know who Joshua
filter by
Renault in the chat.
Filter by,
I'm guessing
football.
this pertains
shit.
to you guys, but Joshua Renault said more details to Gem Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the Gem Pass is sort of like the VIP perk pass of our platform, right? It unlocks like certain discounts, priority access for our drops with the packs, and other like content. And then it'll also unlock like additional pools of competition and prize pools for our gamification as well. So if you own one of the Gem Passes, you'll actually, be able to compete against just other Gem Pass holders in the challenge to win additional challenges.
The Gem Pass is out now?
Yes.
No, the pre-mint right now is live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pre-mint
If you don't mind me asking, so people know, I mean, was it just whitelist for the pre-mint? And
It's
then what's going to be the public?
It's whitelist for the pre-mint. The public sale is going to be in September.
Okay. We have a price point on the public sale yet?
Yeah, the public sale. The Sapphire is 0.15, and then the Diamond is 0.8. The Ruby.
There's 4 tiers.
Yeah, there's 4 different tiers.
All
We
right.
could have a whole show on the Gem Pass. It's a
Yeah, we're giving away quite a few of Sapphires to the DGen community.
Yeah,
and
there's-
if you want to
there's
pull up the
250
artwork
of
real
them.
quick, they're sick.
This, by the way, speaking of tight ends, this is a good one that's actually in the mystery pack drop. 10
Yeah, I'm
Kittle.
looking through all the cards right now on my screen. Yeah, I see
Zeus
a
gonna go
Najee.
nuts right now. I know, of course.
Yeah, filter by buy it now though, because those might be in the mystery packs.
That is in the mystery pack. This Najee's mine. Actually, both Najee's are mine that I tokenized. This one I actually gave away to somebody as a promo
That's
code.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so
Sick.
handsome,
Glass
beautiful, and with big trunk tree
This
thighs.
is yeah, I
He's a
gave these
man. He's such a handsome man.
yeah,
Zeus
these
done
both
lost it.
these both were good picks.
Oh, look at that ball security. Oh, he fumbled in practice the other day, though, so I'm not happy with him right now.
Well, we definitely hit on a bunch of QBs, so we've got that covered.
We got
It
one
looks
more.
like-
we got
Yeah,
one more.
we definitely
pack.
have options at the QB department.
And Jerry Rice.
Yeah, yo, Jerry's
Yeah.
gonna give us mad points, bro. What are you talking about?
We got,
Yeah, when we do
got
the
one more
throwback
pack.
league
I'm
one
hoping
day,
it's
simulations.
hoping there's
Here
a
we
tight
go.
end in. Hoping there's a tight end in here.
All right.
But
Yeah,
I'm
we
sure
got-
it's not as simple as which QB you're speculating is going to have the best season because this is a new way to play. It's card.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing,
Right.
the good thing is you guys have assorted QBs. You can swap out QBs on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
and
you're not
fine.
locked into one QB for the whole
Yeah.
season. Like having options is going to be the best strategy week in, week out. So the more cards you have, the more options you have each week.
So
Do you
what
have
is
the
the
PSA 10 Zach Ertz in this mystery
That would
pack?
be money.
Began Ertz? Let's see. So what are we
Definitely could use
filling
some running
in our rosters, guys? Is it normal? One QB running back. How is it structured for the Ultimate Challenge?
It's one QB, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and 1 flex, which can be a receiver, running back, or tight end.
Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson,
Justin
Damn.
Jefferson.
Joe Burrow.
You
Oh,
guys got
stacked.
every
Yo.
option.
Yeah.
Every quarterback.
Yo, a
oh,
10
damn,
Burrow. A
That
10
Burrow's sick.
Burrow.
That's like
Yeah,
that was
that's
like a
good.
$400
But
card at
also,
one
for
point,
example,
so
with
probably half
Jefferson,
that, but-
so which Jefferson's better?
I I can tell
Like,
you
this is
real quick.
This is like a good little
Go to the card
tutorial
hedge.
here, you know?
Yeah, go to the card hedge site. We'll look them up because those will definitely have data behind them.
What do we have? We have a 2020 Panini Prism and a 2020.
You got to select and an emergent
Panini Prism.
And that's a
Matt,
9.5 and the
I
PSA is
actually
a
have
9.
question
PSA is
too,
a 9.
Matt. I mean, I know 95% of the rules, but can I run 2 Jeffersons out there as my wide receiver?
Yeah, you can. It's just you're also risking,
Sure.
that.
But I can double down 1 week and be like, "Yo, he's about to rip."
Yo, we're gonna do Kurt.
Yo, Scott, that's a good question, bro. I didn't even think of that. Nice. Because you're so accustomed to not being able to.
Justin Jeffersons.
Yeah, you could
and
technically
flex.
do that. It's just
Can we put quarterback in flex or no?
No, not quarterback. Just receiver, running back.
We've got more than a freaking enough. All right.
So the Jefferson right now is $21 in the select. What was the other one? Emergent Prism?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because theoretically,
type in Prism and then you'll see the parallel underneath it.
Yeah, if you're, I know how this community works. Like, someone's gonna double down 1 week and be like, "Screw it!" Like, I got multiple of the same dude. They're worth a similar value. I'm playing 2 Jeffersons or whatever you got.
Yeah, especially the Knights, right?
34. The emergent's better from a pricing perspective.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I would have guessed that.
With the Knights, that's my point. Is like, you're gonna risk it, right? If you're like,
especially if you're putting money on that one guy that week. Yeah. If you're putting your money
you
on that guy, you're confident.
Jordan, though. You're gonna have to answer to Drew on why you lost.
Are you kidding?
Listen, it's like, bro, I went all in on Jefferson. I don't know.
Bro, the minute everything got put together and everything got us to get into the tournament, that was the only thing you heard. He was like, "Nah, let's go win this thing." So we are ready to hit open C. What do we need a running back, bro.
Yeah, we need Najee Harris.
Wait, we've got the guy that owns both Najees is in the chat.
He is.
That's mine.
Brian Bildridge right there.
Brian, how you doing, Brian? Let's talk.
He's got
this is how it works.
Let's get a trade going. We should trade.
Yeah, we got bad quarterbacks. I'll give you Kyler.
Yeah.
Brian, I'll give you 2 options. One in the chat. If you want to jump on this panel real quick and negotiate a little bit, I'm excited, bro. But get ready. I'm gonna put my JD cap on. All right. I'm telling you. If not, let's just do it in the chat. But if you are interested in popping on, I'm gonna put the link in there. Hop in here. Zook, I'll step off. If he does want to make a deal, I'm gonna let you negotiate for your Najee here, since those thick thighs of his that you're in love with. What else?
Tree trunks.
He has nice, thick tree trunks.
What I love about
you said trunk trees, didn't you say trunk trees?
I'm just getting my pen and ripping virtual packs, brother.
So they're now trunk trees.
Oh, all right, Brian. We need an answer here, man. What's it gonna take? You saw we have a plethora of QBs, right?
QB debates over here
on the table here, man.
Well, wait, and let me just jump in for a sec as Brian's agent. Like, Brian, they've got multiple QBs. Like, for you, I'm getting more value, right? Like, so if I'm you, I'm like trying to trade 3-1 here based on value. I'm like, yo, you got a lot of QBs. Like, whatever. Let's say you got 3 QB cards that are worth 30 each, and it's 90, and my card's worth 30. Like, that's what it's gonna take because I know what you need. You know.
He says he's keeping the Najees.
Wait.
Scotty, I thought you were here to help me tonight, man.
Well, that is helping you.
Who owns this?
All right, I'll represent Porto then, because I'd say no to that deal. You guys got the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks are where the money is.
You can go shopping.
Running backs don't bring the value.
Najee,
go on eBay right now and buy that Najee and submit it to the vault.
This is $10.
Yeah.
Or you can buy this Najee for $10. Just get it. We got
grab it. Let's do it. We're buying it.
Actually, you know what's a fire card, running back wise? Which, I mean, I think he's actually going to get vultured, but it's
what I love is that the committee hasn't showed up yet, and we're just going to make decisions. Oh yeah, how you doing?
I mean, there's a plethora under $10 we can buy on the spot.
He knows. Yeah, you got to. Otherwise, Brian's just gonna buy it and trade it back to you for more.
And I can use like a college Najee card.
Yeah,
In a
yeah.
fantasy
It's the
lineup,
current
okay.
team of
Okay.
the player. Yeah. Someone asked that actually. Sir Coda asked that in the sports card channel. He was asking because he's got a draft picks Brady card in his wallet. He's got the Michigan uni on, so he was asking,
Oh wow.
does that still count for the Bucks? And it does.
That's a good
Yeah,
question. I
actually,
didn't know that. That's good.
And Sir
Yeah.
Coda actually is a part of our committee that's built just around this tournament. So we've got a whole team that's their focus is making sure we're grabbing the right pieces, setting up the lineup every week. There he is. That's right, Coda. Put that dollar on. Let's do it. All right. So Zook, I'm gonna have to sign into the wallet over here.
Well, I don't even know what currency that is.
It's USDC.
Oh,
on
USDC on
Yeah.
Polygon.
Cool.
Again, a few hits
I'm
in.
writing it
It's all good.
all done.
You can say anything at this point. It's 10:30. Few hits in. Mets lost. I saw.
The how they lost. Pete missed a sign in the 9th inning and swung.
I know. Again, this is where I come in with therapy. Look at the overall record. You can't swing on that. It's not football.
Yeah, but
It's a long ass season. Everybody's
we're only
slumping.
3.5 up.
Yeah, I understand.
They also screwed us because we have a game. Today's game should have been during the day because we have a game tomorrow and a doubleheader Saturday.
The boys, there's depth. They'll get their rest. They're not going out like they used to. I'm going out tonight, but they're not.
Yeah, this
We're in the
is
playoffs. I
actually
just want to win the division.
this is actually a good card that's available. The Melvin Gordon 10. This is out of 11. This is like this is out of a front of the line box that I ripped.
He's starting
and then I
for
vaulted and tokenized.
the Broncos?
He's starting for Denver. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna have to
not bad at all.
re-catch up to brush up on all my fantasy knowledge.
He's got Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I'm a
behind him, though. I
Javonte
mean,
Williams stan.
Yeah.
Yo, you got Brian in the chat. So you got a Brady and a Pats uni. He still counts for the Bucks now.
Brian, what do you think about that Brady we have?
He's very much still throwing touchdowns for the Bucks, not for the Patriots. So that's going to count for the Bucks.
That's not a bad point. Like, should you have to start a Brady in a Bucks uniform?
No.
Matt with the quick no.
Or is
I'm
there a
not adding
multiplier
more.
for current jersey?
The best. That's always a possibility. I mean, we could pull different levers in the game mechanics to add different scoring boosts. That's the cool thing about what we have built is that, like just like in FIFA Ultimate Team, like there are certain cards you can use in certain competitions. So we can do, a customized tournament around cards that only are applicable to cards where they rock the uniforms that they're wearing or whatever. So that's what's
with
cool
the
about
tournaments, Matt. With the tournaments, do you guys obviously because you're all kinds of cards? I mean, when you and I talked, I saw Pokemon pop on the screen, right? So, like, you guys really could do all kinds of different tournaments, no matter what the sport. With the way you're doing it right now.
Yeah.
And you have me thinking about
that's
throwback tournaments with the Jerry Rice. We can create.
Well, next step is simulated sports. You know how the VBA and the ballers and all those projects are doing simulation sports, and that's becoming a trend right now. We have very much that same capabilities where you can build a historical lineup of some of the best players from history and then go compete against another collector's roster. And
So I'm gonna throw this out there. Hold on, Zook. I'm gonna throw this out there. All right. I know I may not have the chops that Scotty has. All right. We know how Scotty rolls when it comes to MLB, but we do a fantasy simulation league of old school guys. I need to be on that show with you guys. I need to be calling that simulation league. All right. Yep. I'm just throwing it out there. All right.
We can make that happen.
Wait,
we can. We definitely can.
What if
you put the simulation league? I want to broadcast it and I want to call.
Oh, you want to broadcast it?
I want the entire simulation league and keep track of everybody. The Knights will have a team in that as well. No question.
What if you picked a random year and week one time and was like on a wheel and was like 1983 week 15, and then you had to put together based on like the stats you had like that week.
Well,
look at like the
it's
box
really
score
funny
and stuff.
because like these other simulation projects out there, they're based off of fictional characters, right? Like we have an interesting type of IP, right? Which is based off of the physical asset. So you have real historical statistics. Michael Jordan's best year may not have been his rookie year, but the best Michael Jordan card is going to be his rookie card, probably, with obvious exceptions. So we have like this whole interesting dynamic of linking and matching the data, historically speaking, across certain players and matching it with their relative cards. So there's some secret sauce going on. I don't want to drop too much, but once we do have this simulation environment live, you'll be able to play with your cards, earn money 24/7, kind of like with the fantasy challenge, but instead of, all the time.
So one of my greatest friend, my best friend, does a lot of stuff with shows with me. Kung Fu D in the chat tells me to check my text, and he just opened a pack of actual cards at home. So he would like to let us know that we have a CD Lamb available for the Kingdom. He also has a Prism Joe Burrow.
That's
I'm
money.
telling you, we need to build the best roster. When does the tournament actually launch? Like, when are we kicking that off? When
Week
should
1.
people be? Week 1.
Yeah, as long as for right now, the set your team module is not live. We're still in beta, just testing everything out, getting ready for the season. But if you want to participate, just worry about getting cards in your wallet on chain. If you have cards at home,
and that's what I meant. Like, do they have to register for this tournament to enter their team? It's just how they setting up.
We'll have
our
a landing
lineups?
page up soon where they can send their email and get updates constantly to be in the know. But just know that start accumulating your football cards in your wallet, because by week 1 there'll be a deadline, a snapshot date where you need to have your lineup set. It's not like an actual action where you lock your lineup. It's a snapshot like other typical Web3 type projects. So,
awesome.
there'll be a place where you actually like select the card that you want to put in your lineup. But then when the snapshot date comes along, then that's when everything needs to be finalized by.
So load up.
Yep, and also guys, send me the ETH address to transfer these cards over to.
Yeah, I'll do that, and
I'll fire you over your quarterback, your quarterback brigade.
You're stacked, yeah.
And Porto, by the way, just to wrap up your sim talk, I've actually broadcasted like hundreds of sim games. Again, another episode, but
yo, you should see what we got going. Yo, do you want to call virtual hockey with me? We have a team that's going I can't say it on air, but okay. Behind the scenes.
We'll talk more.
Another project.
I've never been asked that before. I've been asked a lot of weird shit. I've never been asked that before, but text me.
Well, guys, I promise you tomorrow you will see footage released from KOD on what we're about to pull off on OpenSea. I'm about to get with the committee. We're going to go and do a little scouting and start stocking up. I'm excited. I mean, I think this is a no-brainer, what you guys are doing, the product you're pushing out there, and the Knights of Degen tying into it. Expect us to just be really going hard for that Jordan card. Like, there's no question about it, man. And I appreciate you guys literally taking time to hang out with us, let the community understand what you've got going on. And we got a plan to have you guys back on so we can kind of maybe do like a mid-season, see how we're doing, how we're stacking up against others. And, on Tuesday nights, I plan on this Tuesday on what this we're going to rip another pack. So I'm going to line it up. We're going to do it live on stream. I still feel like we need to go find ourselves some real running backs. So that's
definitely, we're going to be having spaces. We're going to be having spaces during the season, weekly, recapping the leaderboard and recapping the action from the week before. So I'd love to have you guys on, as well as some of the other nights on those spaces, so we can actually see who's really winning and who's where the leaderboard's at.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Like, this was awesome for me, and also
it's a lot of fun.
I don't think I mentioned this, but my first ever NFT was I got laser eyes.
Oh, let's go!
I got a Degen, baby. It's on my Twitter handle, and especially it's hilarious. Yeah. Some of like the older baseball people I work with, sometimes they're like, "Is that your profile picture?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is." They're like, what is that? And it's great. I'm the best ad, and it's genuine. No, just Knights of Degen ain't paying me shit. Nobody knew I got it. From Anthony and Matt talking to them, I'm like, all right, as we're talking through Only Gems, and I was deep into crypto, and then I'm like, now I'm ready for NFTs. This is months ago. whatever. It was a while ago at this point. Not right when
That's
you
funny
launched,
because
but early stage, and I was like, all right, help me pick my first one. You know, like you remember your first, right? So
yeah.
I'm in.
It's funny because my
Twitter
first
app.
NFT, Scott, ever was my night. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, it's me with a helmet on. Like, it was no brainer. I needed that, dude. For those of you in the chat, I appreciate everybody hanging out, getting the updates on what's going on with this project and how we're going to tear up this tournament and win this tournament. Also, throughout the season, guys, while we're doing our Degen Huddle, our KOD University, we will be giving updates as well as what they got going on with Twitter Spaces to make sure we are doing this the right way with our committee and doing everything to win that Jordan card. Guys, appreciate you. I guess I'll hit everybody with the Degen Huddle teaser. Appreciate everybody tuning into the night shift. Guys, really appreciate you. Look forward to working together.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for
Loved
having
it.
us.
Later, guys.
Loved it.
Thank you.
And boy, we winning. We about to make a killing. I don't care what you feeling. I know you wanna steal it. Want it, then come and get it. You want it, then come and get it. You want it, then come and get it. Hold up.